This is the story of the Vierville Draw, the most critical objective and the deadliest trap in Normandy. From a bloody massacre that nearly forced generals to abandon the assault, the sheer courage of the Rangers and infantry turned certain defeat into a legendary victory. Shortly after 8 a.m. on June 6, 1944, a German officer overlooking Omaha Beach picked up a telephone. He looked down at the carnage below and reported back to his superiors with confidence. He said, "The enemy is repelled. Tanks stand burning at the beach. Debarkation has ceased. A great many wounded and dead lie on the beach." To the German defenders, the American assault seemed broken. But there was one thing that officer missed. The Americans were not giving up. They were just getting started. The target was the Vierville Draw. It was a gap in the cliffs, the only paved road leading off Omaha Beach. For the Americans, it was the most critical objective of the invasion. Without this road, their tanks and vehicles would remain trapped on the sand, sitting ducks for German artillery. The Germans knew this too. They had turned the draw into a fortress. Pillboxes housing 88mm cannons guarded the entrance. Concrete walls, 6 feet thick, blocked the road. On the cliffs above, machine gun nests, known as wider stance nests, were positioned to rain enfilading fire across the entire beach. The job of cracking this fortress fell to the Stonewallers, the 116th Infantry Regiment. At 6:30 a.m., Company A landed at Dog Green Beach, directly in front of the draw. It was a slaughter. The landing craft ramps dropped, and German machine guns instantly raked the open boats. Men were cut down before they could step into the water. Weighed down by equipment, they drowned in the surf or died on the sand. Within minutes, all of the officers were dead or wounded. Of the 155 men in Company A, more than 100 were killed. To the commanders watching from offshore, the assault looked suicidal. The beach was closed. The water was red with blood. The plan had failed. But amidst the chaos, a different kind of soldier arrived. The Rangers, Captain Ralph Gorenson's Company C, landed just east of the draw. Seeing the exit was a death trap, they initiated Plan 2. They wouldn't take the road, they would take the cliffs. Lacking ropes or ladders, men used bayonets in their bare hands to scale the bluffs, all while under heavy fire. Down on the beach, leadership began to emerge from the wreckage. Brigadier General Norman Cota walked calmly through the gunfire, rallying the shell-shocked troops. He found the Rangers and gave the order that would become legendary. "Rangers, lead the way." Nearby, Colonel Charles Canham, despite a bullet hole in his wrist, shouted to his men, "All of you who want to die, stay where you are. Those who want to live, come with me." Spurred by this courage, the Americans began to move. They blew gaps in the barbed wire with Bangalore torpedoes. They crawled through minefields. They swarmed up the smoke-covered slopes. Out at sea, U.S. Navy destroyers like the USS McCook risked running aground to fire point blank at the German bunkers, blasting them off the cliff face. By 10 a.m., the Americans had flanked the draw. They fought house to house through the town of Vierville, silencing the German guns from behind. The town was taken, but the road was still blocked. 2 massive concrete walls stood between the beach and the inland route. Combat engineers, under constant threat of snipers, moved in. They stacked boxes of TNT against the concrete. They had no idea if the walls were reinforced with steel. If the blast failed, the tanks would remain trapped. They lit the fuse and ran for cover. When the smoke cleared, the walls were gone. There was no steel reinforcement. At 4 p.m., 9.5 hours after the first wave was decimated, a bulldozer cleared the rubble. The road to France was open. The battle for Vierville Draw was one of the bloodiest fights of D-Day. It began with a massacre, but it ended in victory because individual soldiers, refusing to accept defeat, stood up and took the high ground. The German officer was wrong. The landing had not ceased. The liberation of Europe had just begun.